Before we get on into today's video, guys, don't forget we have our 6,000 subscriber giveaway still going on. As long as we hit the goal before Fabled is released, we're going to give a box away, and if we hit 6,200 subscribers, we're going to give away 2 boxes, so double your chances to win. So we will have 2 separate winners. But like you saw in the title and why you're probably here, today we decided to go and revisit Pirates and see what we could do with the deck, and the biggest surprise was it's less than $30 to build this deck. Am I saying it's a meta contender? No. Do I think it can get you your Jafar promo though? Honestly, yes, I do. Needing a top 8, depending, even like if you had like a 25-30 person local, honestly, I think this is a deck that could potentially sneak on into there. I'm not saying it's going to. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It might be matchup dependent, but if you're looking into like a heavy red-blue, this actually might be a solid deck choice to go with, especially if you're on a budget. And if you're not and you're still on a budget or you like Pirates, why not try it out? This is a more aggressive style deck. I've seen other pirate builds, kind of tried looking at them. I played against a few. I played with the different ones, and I liked this approach a little bit more. And there's a couple uncommon things, like we have Daisy and the locations in there, but we'll go ahead and talk about some things as we go. So it's kind of nice that the deck just has a natural out to some items. So whenever you play an action that isn't a song, you can banish chosen item. A nice little effect on our 1-drop Pete there. Otherwise, you're looking at like Captain Hook on 1 because he is a captain, which helps protect your Smee then, because obviously your Smee, if you have no captain, takes a damage at the end of the turn. But thankfully, this deck is filled with captain characters, so a lot of the time your Smee's not taking any damage, which just is, it feels so broken. In times though where you might be taking damage, we do have Nathaniel Flint in here, so you can't play it unless you damage your opposing character this turn, but that's okay because we have plenty of ways to do so, and if they're readied, we have action cards that have the ability to do that as well. We're only playing 9 total uninkable cards, so pretty much every hand you have, pretty much all the time, you're going to be able to actually play your game out. Nathaniel Flint only has a 2 of, just because of the restriction. Sometimes it's not going to be the best, and you really don't want to top deck this card. You want to see the card when you kind of have tools and ways to get them actually on board. Top decking it just kind of feels bad, so we're only going to play 2 of them, and we're going to primarily focus on Mr. Smee. Into our 3-drop spot, you have your Pete. Obviously, shutting down your opponent's actions is going to be really good. One of the only non-character or non-pirate characters in the deck. We have him and Maui. But otherwise, we have Donald Duck here. And when you look at Donald Duck, think of Piglet, Pooh Pirate Captain. This one is, while you have a captain character in play, you get +2 lore. Whereas Piglet is, you need to have 2 other characters. This one's a little bit less restrictive. It's a 2/3, which is nice. But let's look at this for a quick second, right? Nathaniel Flint, Captain. Captain Hook, Captain. Mr. Smee here, Captain. Daisy Duck, Captain. Captain Hook, Captain. Pete, not a captain. John Silver, though, Captain. Almost got you on the Pete. So the majority of your deck is actually captain characters, which means he's a inkable 3-cost, 2/3, 3-quester. Again, we're trying to be aggressive here. We're trying to win quick. If you can go like Captain Hook, Smee, or even if you put down a Pete and then go Smee, Donald Duck on 3, follow that back with like Daisy Duck on 4, you're going to be looking into a pretty good spot as far as everything else can go. Mr. Smee though, Mr. Smee is an incredibly strong card. It's our first uninkable one we're going to talk about, and if you play an action that isn't a song, you can ready a chosen pirate character. Notice, though, there isn't that wording or stipulation where this character can't quest for the rest of the turn. There is none of that, so you can absolutely quest. And again, we're being aggressive. Even the non-aggressive versions typically play this card at 4. There's really no surprise there. This card is just really, really strong for the deck. It's a 3/3 body, which is always going to be nice as well. But essentially, you could have like your Donald Duck, say you quest for 3, and then you go boom your opponent's character, then Smee triggers, you get to ready your Donald Duck, and then you can go ahead and quest for 3 once again. And it's also not once per turn, so if you do it multiple times, you get to ready multiple characters. Just make sure you sequence out your abilities enough to where like you quest first before you play your action. Just be a little leery, or not leery, but aware of that and just sequencing. But Mr. Smee can put in so much work. I've had turns where it was actually because of 2 Babooms and Donald that I was able to quest for 9 from Donald in a single turn. It just felt absolutely disgusting. I had Donald down on 3. On 4, I played Mr. Smee. Then on 5, so I mean Donald actually, I quested for 3 the turn prior, so he got me 12. They didn't clear the Donald. Then on 5, I actually quested for Donald, played the Baboom, ready Donald, quested Donald, played Baboom, ready Donald, quested. It felt very, very strong, to say the least, when you can get 9 lore off a single card. Into our 4 drops. Daisy Duck. This is one of your draw engines in the deck that is something that this deck can absolutely struggle with, is card advantage, resources, stuff like that. Whether you want to throw in like Whole New World, Beyond the Horizon, there's a few different ways that we can do it. I opted for Daisy Duck and Desperate Plan because Desperate Plan is a non-song action, so it just kind of fits the theme of the deck. In addition, Daisy Duck, whenever a pirate quests while they're at a location, you get to draw a card. So putting in a few locations that we'll get to and kind of talk about why. Just having those locations though, and then you move there and then you quest, you get to draw a card each time. If you get like 2 or 3 at a location, all of a sudden you're drawing 2 or 3 extra cards per turn. It feels really dirty. And even if you're only getting 1, getting an extra card every turn is going to be really nice. It's a 3/3 quest for 2. Definitely a nice powerhouse card in the deck, if you will. Thought about putting in the Goofy, the Inventor, just to be able to quest for 3 and then give her Ward to leave her a little more less vulnerable, more protected. But at the end of the day, trying to keep it more pirate themed, so we went away from that. Into our 5 drop, we have Captain Hook, the Pirate King. Once during your turn, if an opposing character is damaged, your pirate characters get +2 strength and resist 2, meaning you damage your opponent's character, now everything gets +2 strength and resist 2. So if you need to trade into their board, there's a much better chance that your board just survives because of it. So he's a very strong card, and he's inkable. He's a 4/5/2 quester and shift 3, which means we can actually take advantage of this Captain Hook and get a strong shift 3 out of him. On to 6, then the other non-character or non-pirate character, Maui, the Stubborn Trickster. He's a 4/4 inkable card. He quests for 3, and he packs a wallet because he's got 3 different abilities. So when he's banished, you get to choose which one. Banish all your opponent's items, banish all their locations, or put 2 damage counters on all opposing characters. So he can start smashing into your opponent's, if you're against like Aggro, can start smashing into their characters, and when his time's come and he's gone, and something you can actually end up doing too if you really need to, you can use your own Baboom, you can use your own Smash to finish him off. So like you can challenge into, say, a Daisy, and all of a sudden Daisy's gone. Then you can smash your own Maui, and then you can put 2 damage counters on the rest of their characters, which might get rid of Piglet, might get rid of Lady, could get rid of these other cards. So sometimes it's like, well, why not just do 3? Because why do 3 to one of their characters when you can do 2 to all of their characters and take out multiple? Sure, you lose the board presence, but it's basically a grab your swords at that point. So it's going to be pretty strong. And it puts 2 on all. It doesn't target, so things like Prince John will still take the damage. Calhoun, it puts 2 on it. It doesn't deal the damage. So resist does not apply to it. It will put 2 damage counters on it and get rid of that Calhoun as well. Otherwise, just like crashing them into things into like an item matchup and just clearing all their items is very strong. Or again, self-sabotaging it. Even if you have to double Baboom it to, if you're against red-blue items, they got double workshops, they got popsicles, they got all their items rolling. And if you catch one in their hands a little bit lower, double Baboom your own Maui. Quest for 4, quest, get your 3 lore, Baboom, Baboom, gone, get rid of all their items, done. Make it clean and easy, and then you'll be in a pretty good spot that way. So that's a big thing with him, is sometimes, and actually more than you would think, you self-sabotage yourself with him and destroy him yourself just to get one of those abilities, and it can actually really help you. We also have Pete then going into our, or staying in our 6 drop. So when this character is exerted, opposing characters can't exert to sing songs, and pirate characters gain resist 1. He also gets resist 1, which he has 5 willpower and resist 1. That means Along Came Zeus doesn't clear it on its own. They have to do more than that just to get rid of this card, and they would have to hard play the Along Came Zeus because they can't exert to sing songs. This card is just so strong, and I really like everything that it does for the deck. We also have the shift line, so like one of our non-characters, Pete, or not, my goodness, non-pirate characters, Pete, can shift and turn into a pirate, so he still kind of fits that theme as needed. But this card is just very, very strong. A 5/5 multi-quester with an insane while exerted ability, so you can even like Pete them on 3 if you need to, then shift on 4. A lot of time I don't like Peting on 3 unless it's like they have Aerial and you're against Steel Song and you know the whole new world's coming, then you Pete to get rid of that, and then the next turn you shift the Pete. Now all of a sudden now they have to hard cast the whole new world, which disrupts their tempo insanely. So like versus Steel Song, that's a line I would go. Otherwise, usually it's probably more mid to late game kind of combo that you're going to go off for, and then you can shift for 4 and you'll have maybe 2 or 3 ink and be able to pair up a Donald or a Smee. One of those other cards with it. And then playing a 1 of John Silver. We don't have any of the shifts for him, so it is just going to be an 8 cost, but it's a 6/6 body with resist 2, and at the start of your turn, deal the damage to all opposing readied characters. So it's a potential way to deal damage, but he's a 6/6 resist 2 2-quester. Just kind of a closer that says, how are you going to answer this card? And in a steel meta, there's not a ton of answers for it. So now we get into our actions. The first one going to be improvise chosen character. You get +1 strength, draw a card. So it's a little bit of card draw, helps you deal with your opponent's characters. In addition to that, things like Iago. You give Iago the +1, you draw your card. Now you targeted it, so Iago's gone. Any vanished character will just disappear. Ba-boom, you deal 2 damage. We got 4 of those. I opted for 2 smash instead of playing the Fight of the Cannons. I like the 3 damage, like Diablo at Hidden Cove, Aerial. Just I really felt like the 3 damage was much more important. Smash plus Baboom gets rid of a half shark, whereas the Fire the Cannons and Baboom will not. Just there's lots of things that I felt like the Smash was the better call for. Walk the Plank. This one's actually kind of an insane one of. So your pirate characters gain this ability. You can exert them and banish chosen damage character this turn. Sometimes that's a really easy way to get rid of a bunch of characters, especially if you lost Maui this turn. So if you lose your Maui this turn, you deal 2 damage to everything. You play this card, and all of a sudden you just exert all your characters and destroy all their characters because they're damaged. And it's a really nice little combo play there. Uninkable and kind of situational, so it is just a kind of weird one-off. And then, like I mentioned, 4 desperate plans. It's if you have no cards in your hand, draw 3 cards. Otherwise, you can discard as many cards as you want, draw that many cards. It's just card draw. It's a non-song action card draw is really all we were going for with that there. So pretty happy with the desperate plan. And then the locations that we're running, we got Hidden Cove. So it's a 1 cost, 1 to move here. So that's just a very easy way. You get Daisy down on 4, so that means turn 5. You can play this card, move 3 or 4 characters there, and then quest, and all of a sudden draw, and your whole hand is just refilled just like that. So Hidden Cove really strong for that. And the extra strength and willpower is actually pretty strong. It almost forces your opponent to take it out before they even go after your characters. But you're playing an aggressive deck, which means there's a good chance you can get 5, 6, 7, 8 more lore just because they went after the location first. Because if they go after the character, they lose theirs too. And then the other one being 7 Dwarves Mine. I really like this card in aggressive decks because you can be questing and move here, and you get to deal damage to your opponent, which means you're dealing with their board while you're questing because you don't need to challenge into their board because you get to quest and you get to just move here and deal a damage. So it's a nice little interaction that you can have, and it's just another location, just so we're not like relying solely on the 3 Hidden Coves with the Daisy, and it does actually get you a lore too. So in that event, it generates a little bit for it. So overall, guys, this is my super duper budget hyper aggro. Maybe I shouldn't say hyper aggro. It's my super budget pirate aggro. That's what I meant to say, not hyper. I meant to say pirate. Pirate aggro deck, and I'm really excited. I think it's fun. Like I said, absolutely, I think it can get you your set championship promo, but Let me know what you guys think down below. Have you tried Pirates out? Do you want to try Pirates out, or is it not your thing? And don't forget, we're actually doing pretty good towards that goal. 6,000 subscribers, 6,200 would be really cool, and we'll give 2 boxes away. Thank you guys for watching, and take care.